Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for being here and listening to all the crazy things I'm going to say today. The future is already here. It's just not equally distributed yet. In modern history, however, there appeared the technologies that managed to even out the distribution of future and bring the enlightenment of innovation even to the most remote corners of our world. We call them general purpose technologies, or GPTs. And so far, there's been roughly 3 of them: the steam engine, electricity, computers, and internet. All these technologies managed to help us with the way we live and work, democratize the access to goods and services by drastically cutting production costs. No technology has surpassed the importance of internet and computers just yet. Artificial intelligence, however, finally is giving us the tools to analyze and interpret the near infinite amounts of data we've managed to accumulate throughout our whole existence on this planet. It is precisely at these moments, on the cusp of the coming breakthrough, that the fortunes are made and the lives are changed forever. I decided to come up with some practical and fun examples of how AI, coupled with various other technologies, will improve our near future and empower humanity. All these stories are based in 20 years of now. Just enough time if you are a young, patient investor ready for long-term, game-changing returns. Story number 1. Choose what you want to see. Mark has always been a tenacious and inventive person. He managed to secure a well-paid job in a tiny industrial city in the UK as a professor of entrepreneurship. The town was one of the last remaining coal-dependent cities in the country. As all of UK has been now transitioning to the solar energy, town council had to ensure job retraining before most of the residents lost their old positions. The school Mark was teaching at was located on the edge of the town, surrounded by coal factories, old pubs, and abandoned grey buildings. Every day, Mark embarked on this miserable and uneventful journey to his work, longing for anything to brighten his otherwise really miserable and sad journey. It was all before he discovered the VR Dolly, the augmented reality app which overimposed any theme he chose over the bleak surroundings. Since the discovery of the app, Mark was full of excitement before he embarked on his new journey, as now he could choose to be walking in the worlds of Guillermo del Toro, Jurassic Park, or the magic planets of Avatar. Passers-by became really intrigued by this exalted guy in the VR set, and they started asking questions. And as more people in the town discovered this app, the whole place embraced the technology of augmented and virtual reality. This once boring, grey city became the breeding ground of AR engineers and designers, showing the transformative power of technology and attracting people from all over the UK and even abroad. To make Mark's story come true, we need to keep investing in VR hardware, making it lighter, easier to use, more user-friendly. We need to invest in generative AI to create the themes and overimpose them on the surroundings, as well as sensors and IoT to single out any potential threat on your way as you're using the VR headset. Story number 2. Royal Ascot, Ukrainian glory. In the 2020s, fashion trends were wild and extravagant. But creativity and craziness was mostly reserved to the rich and famous, or rich and crazy for that matter. It all changed when generative AI came into play.
The Midjourney and ChatGPT, this will put a lot of people out of work. Oh my God, what have I not typed in? Well, Ukrainian dress, Ukrainian colored, Ukrainian flag colored, Royal Ascot, elegant, cool, and like different combination of all these things. But then if you give too many details, it just goes crazy and puts like absolutely outrageous things, which I thought maybe for Royal Ascot it wouldn't be very appropriate. I'm a futurist and I came up with these ideas about the future scenarios and how we would be probably designing our dress with AI and also making it with 3D printers. And then I thought, well, I can do the first part already. So I used Midjourney to design, went through probably like 10, 15 different iterations, and then thought that would look really good for Ascot. So
as I saw Russian atrocities occupying less and less space in the world editorials and people's hearts, I decided to use the power of generative AI for my own purpose, to bring the attention back to the war in Ukraine by creating the first in the world AI-designed Royal Ascot dress in Ukrainian colors. This has been in the summer of 2023. But by the 2040s, individuality would have reached new heights. People in 40s will no longer rely on famous designers or mass-produced rags. They will create outfits right at home for any purpose, using holographic body scanning technology and 3D printers. Get unique clothing for any occasion, faster, before Zara used to roll out its collections in 2020s. Investing in holograms, just-in-time logistics, AI and 3D, we are investing in the individual-centered fashion of the future. Story number 3. Death is a bug, not a feature. Mei Chan was only 55. She was a successful sci-fi writer in China, well known abroad as well. She expanded on Cixin Liu's dark forest theory and enriched our understanding of the possible alien worlds beyond the carbon-based life on Earth or Stanislav Lem's collective consciousness oceans. Nothing predicted what she was going to face so early on. First, the bright, beautiful worlds of alternative realities start fading from her imagination. Later, even the everyday details seem to have started slipping her mind. All this happened in a span of a few months. When she started forgetting who she was and why she was at a certain place, Mei understood she needed urgent help. As Chinese doctors have discovered, Mei had an unexpected onset of aggressive brain cancer, quickly manifesting itself in dementia. In 2020s, one of the most iconic Hollywood actors, Bruce Willis, fell victim to this most horrible and inhumane disease that locks you in the black box of desperation and fear, stealing your individuality, memories, and anything that made you your own self. In 2020s, there were thousands of Alzheimer and cancer trials a year, and only a handful proved to be getting anywhere at all, leaving millions of people to die prematurely, void of hope and joy. Interestingly, the gaming industry showed us and hinted at what could have been the possible solution in the early 2000s. 2005 World of Warcraft Corrupted Blood incident used a very realistic projection of how the virus would be moving and spreading across cities and towns based on the density of the population and the unpredictability of the human behavior. Pets as disease carriers, super spreaders, irrationality of humans and self-isolation all took place in 2005 game, which was later used by researchers to accurately predict the spread of the COVID pandemic. Another amazing example of the game being used to solve complex medical issues was 2008 folded competition. After academics have been puzzled with understanding HIV and AIDS proteins molecules, online gamers managed to decipher this conundrum in just 2 weeks, enabling scientists to use these discoveries in the development of the new anti-AIDS drugs. In 2040s, using the large swaths of data obtained from each living individual, as well as using the most advanced clouds of quantum computers, scientists were finally able to create the perfect digital twin of any living human being and run millions of parallel trials to determine the exact combination of drug molecules to cure the exact disease the person has been suffering from. Time as a concept will disappear in quantum computing-powered digital verses, allowing us to replicate any medical scenario and illness, testing any combination of drugs or vaccines in seconds. As required by Chinese authorities, May has been continuously sharing her vitals and medical records with the state. So when she turned for help, AI-equipped doctors could instantly initiate multiple metaverse trials and identify the best drug candidates to battle May's cancer straight away. Cases like this forced Western democracies to review their GDPR and privacy policies to allow a much more efficient targeting of previously incurable diseases. To get to this world, we need to bring our attention back to the creation of metaverses, investing in quantum computing, and ideally the privacy blockchain technology to help people share their data. There can be many more interesting examples to share about the future, but it's worth saying that all of them will be made possible if we, as a species, abandon our tribalism, the fear of otherness, and start thinking about the world from the mindset of abundance and not scarcity. According to Nikolai Kardashev, there are 3 types of civilizations. From the planet that can access and store all the energy available on it, controlling natural events, to the one that can harness the energy of its local star with the help of Dyson spheres and antimatter, all the way to the civilization that can use the energy of the whole galaxy, including stars and black holes. Earth is considered 0.7 on Kardashev scale. All this despite the fact that the cost of solar energy has dropped 82% in the last 10 years, cost of wind 46%, lithium-ion battery storage 87% since 2010. The future is already here. It is closer than it has ever been. Still, we allow Russia and OPEC states, dictatorships and local tsars to dictate the present and future of our generations, preventing the technological advancement and pushing their million-years-old fossil fuel reserves. The generosity of our planet, these people had no real contribution towards. Like no one else, the countries of Central and Eastern Europe, with its brilliant, hard-working people, the best in class, engineers and data scientists, daring entrepreneurs, are poised to become the next leaders in the AI and technology race. Never forget where you are coming from and where you are going. And invest in the future your children deserve to live in. Thank you very much for your time, and hope to meet you later.